good, y'all? Welcome to the Z Podcast. When I say P, I mean profit. When I say S, I mean see. You dig it what I'm saying, baby? Now let's keep it moving. Follow the feng shui. You dig it? Bienvenue Podcast Z, man. Today on this episode 40, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to talk about accountability. Accountability, man. Ladies and men, accountability, right? Accountability is something you have to be responsible for yourself. When you decide to take accountability for your life, you take accountability and responsibility for yourself. You got to take initiative in your life to really see results. Nobody who is at the top, they waited for someone to do something for them. Most likely they took accountability for themselves in their situation, and they had to figure out what to do with the current circumstances and events, right? So if you gonna be a person that's gonna take responsibility for your life and accountability for your life, then you gotta start viewing yourself from a standpoint of I can do it, I can do this, I can figure this out. And you gotta stop viewing yourself in a standpoint of I cannot do this, I ain't gonna make it. I cannot do this, I ain't gonna make it. At some point, you're gonna have to start looking at yourself and reflecting on your thoughts and reflecting on how you feel and reflecting on what you do and what you do not do. you know um I used to do it like heavy drugs and stuff back then, a little bit of lean and you know pills and stuff like that. So when y'all really try to like break free from certain things, you really gotta just you really just gotta make that decision in your mind to be like, yeah, I'm done. Like this is over with. I'm done with this. I ain't doing this no more. When you do that in your mind, that's when you will really have a, a change in perspective as far as accountability. But other than that, if you don't really want to take accountability for yourself, you're gonna keep doing the same stuff that you know is harmful. You're gonna keep doing the same stuff that you know ain't gonna bring you no good. And if it don't bring you no good, then you really got nobody to blame. You know, you can't sit here and say that it's somebody else's fault for the way you can't sit here and say it's somebody else's fault for the way things going. At a certain age, that get like played out. Like it just becomes to a point where it's like, okay, you cannot do this no more. You cannot. You like being a victim. If you're gonna take accountability for yourself, being a victim is no room. There's no room for being a victim. There's no room for being a sucker. There's no room for being a buster. There's no room for even being a square sometimes, because you gotta be last in that. So if you really want to be ahead of everybody, you really gotta stay in your own lane and take accountability for the things that you know you are capable of changing. Do not try to take accountability for things that you are not able to change, because you're just gonna keep fighting a resistance that is gonna repel you and push you away every single time. I don't care how many times you try to go up against the tide. You're gonna have to be responsible for whatever comes with it, and just that's just how it is. Karma gonna come his way, and as long as you prepare for whatever comes, you're all right. If you know how you living and you know how you living is the way you choose to live, then you all right. You ain't got nothing to worry about. But other than that, with that being said, like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.